Hi everybody, this is the Inside Pool Extreme Press Box. I'm Aaron Setley along with Rachel LeBink, and this is the Action Report. Our guest today is Fred Agnir, and he is the head of the Louie Roberts Action and Entertainment Award Committee.
Hello everybody.
Good.
How you doing? Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here.
So just what is the committee for the entertainment? What is it and what is it that you do?
Well, the Louie Roberts Action and Entertainment Award is the award given out to the person that people feel epitomizes action and entertainment out in the action room. It's not a tournament award, it's actually voted on by the people who get to watch the action and entertainment. Now, there's a lot of different definitions of what actually makes this award, but really, in my mind, it's the person that draws in the crowd, entertains them, but they got to be in action. It can go to a player, but it can go to a backer or just a woofer. And this year, there's a whole bunch of people that are really up for the award.
And now, is it quality or quantity? Like some of the players that play every day that grind it out, or is it more like how much they're betting or how tough of games they're getting in? What is it based on?
And that's a really good question because there is some kind of confusion. And the key term really is entertainment. It really isn't a quantity type of idea. But for example, last year's winner, Chris Bartram, he was in a lot of matches, and everybody just wanted to keep on watching him day after day after day. And at the end of it, it was quantity, but it was a lot of entertainment. Other years, for example, Alex Pagulayan, he had a lot of entertainment, but not as much people really played him. But he's an entertaining guy trying to get action.
Say, pool is an entertainment sport. A lot of people don't realize that it should be entertaining.
Now, this award, because it's voted on, it makes it a little more prestigious. You don't win the tournament; that's its own award. But the winner of this award, Greg Sullivan and Diamond, also give out free room for life and free tournament entry for life. So that's pretty big.
That's worth a lot. I mean, you might want to go out for 50 grand just to get the free room.
So you're in a good spot with people wanting to bribe you and stuff to try to get.
I guess, but as the head of,
how did you get that job?
Yeah,
really? I mean, we're jealous here.
When the award first started in 2003, there were something like 4 or 5 people that actually voted on it. 4 or 5 people to watch 9 days of constant action, and that really wasn't right. And people, you know, rightfully thought that maybe one person should have gotten it, and maybe the people didn't see enough action. So what Greg Sullivan decided to do was put the vote out to the people, to the internet specifically. So he asked me to head up a committee that would get in the votes from internet forum members. So the people in the AZ Billiards, CC board, but Inside Pool Magazine, onepocket.org, those forum members, as long as they were here and saw the action, then they can email me and give me their vote.
So that's how they vote. They can go to any of those sites and
exactly. And those posts are out there on the forums, so they can read the post and see the votes or see where to vote. They'd vote for up to 3, 1, 2, 3, and they don't have to vote for 3 people. They can vote for 1 person.
Right. Right.
But is it go for total votes, or do you have some say in who gets?
I have 0 say.
I have 0 money to give.
Just a representative.
Yeah, I was going to give you
Action represent.
Something.
I do it exactly like MVP voting. A first place vote is X amount of points, and down to 3rd place, and I just totaled up. So it's very, very straight, cut and dry. In fact, out of the last 5 years, I don't believe I picked the winner yet.
Really? So who do you think is in contention? Because we know they'll be out.
Well, I think anybody who's been watching your action reports, Shane Van Boning is probably the clear-cut leader right now. And not only for the action he's been in, but 500 people have been coming to watch him every single time he goes out there. But there's certainly other people that have been in contention. Cliff Joyner's been right up there. Hennessy from Tennessee, right up there. Chris Bartram once again. And it's important to know that you're not disqualified from winning it a second time.
Gotcha. And I do like your picks with Shane and Chris for the action.
Yeah.
But for those 2 in entertainment, they might be bottom of the heap for me.
That's right. So there's a kind of a balance and mix there.
And you got to remember too, Jimmy Matai is just getting into town.
That's right. So you know we have half the derby left over.
Right.
Yeah.
And Sparky Farrell, you know what? He's one player that's been plucking away. But see, he's off in one of those little back rooms and nobody sees. But I mean, he constantly is in action.
You might not know about this
that's,
free hotel. I mean, I think that should be
some
announced.
Some people are a little
to
incognito too. I mean,
it is important. There's
a
lot of people out there that are in action. I mean,
right.
Lots and lots of action going on. But
right.
if you have action in an empty room or in a back corner, that's the whole idea of if a tree falls in the woods, do people actually hear it? Is it making noise? You know, if nobody sees your action, it can't be any entertaining.
Yeah. Right. So who is Louie Roberts?
Ah, that's a very good question. Louie Roberts, or St. Louis, he's a famous, infamous gambler and action player, former U.S. Open 9-ball champion, probably one of the most coordinated people on the pool table. Mike Siegel used to say that if there was one person he ever feared, it was Louie Roberts in 9-ball.
So who can we go to get some Louie Roberts stories? Who's here at the Derby City Classic that we could hunt down to find some gossip about Louie Roberts that
I think
would actually know him?
any of the old-time players, Nick Varner certainly would have known something about Louie Roberts. Jimmy Fusco was coming in to get inducted. Greg Sullivan, any of the old-time players.
But Jimmy Mattia probably?
Absolutely, Jimmy Mattia knew Louie Roberts very well.
Ronnie Allen possibly?
Absolutely,
okay.
Absolutely. Louie Roberts was very famous in his circles. Big-time action gambler. He had the famous spot that he would walk into a pool hall and said, "I will bet anybody, anything, any game, and the bet is if I miss, I lose." And he'd walk away with money.
Wow, that's strong.
And that is strong. And of course, the fact that he can shout that out there, people would come to watch.
Right.
And usually he'd walk away with the money and the 2 ladies that happened to be in the room too.
Oh! So he was an entertainer, huh?
St. Louis Roberts. Ladies have a chance at the Action Award?
Anybody that has a chance at it.
Monica and Helena have been playing, and Sarah's been out there playing.
Rousey, yes.
Yeah. So who do you think that Louie Roberts ever played Minnesota Fats or Willie Mosconi and those guys too?
Well, it's certainly possible that he played Minnesota Fats.
Right.
I don't think Mosconi would allow him in the same room. Mosconi was not a fan of the gamblers.
Oh, really?
I kind of heard that Minnesota Fats wasn't like the greatest player, but he was more a showman.
Well, an entertainer,
yeah,
right?
he was
but
more
that's
entertainer.
Perfect for
he
the
wasn't.
award.
That's
really.
right. Minnesota Fats would have won the Louie Roberts Award. But make no mistake, Minnesota Fats could play one pocket. He came in second or third in the first Jansko Brothers one pocket event.
How do you think he'd fare here in Louisville in the back room? Do you think that he would be?
He would get, in his own words, he would get barbecued. I don't think he'd have a chance against some of the monsters we have today.
Yeah. It's gotten a lot stronger.
Of course, he would always go for a spot too, and one of his specialties was making a game.
Right. That's what it all is.
That's right. But
entertainment.
And he would be entertaining.
Right. So he'd be in contention for sure for his own award.
That's right.
How do you think he'd do? How do you think he'd do in the one pocket? I mean, in this tournament.
Louie Roberts?
Yeah.
He was not a one-pocket player as far as I know. He was a 9-ball player. He really was.
Okay. How do you think he'd do in the 9-ball event?
Well, as a former U.S. Open 9-ball champion, I think it'd be fair to say that he'd have as good a shot as anybody in the world to beat it.
Right. Okay. Anything to add?
That's all I have to add. We'd like to thank you for giving us an update on this award. I didn't know, like I said, that's news to me about like the stuff you get with the free room and everything like that. So I'll encourage everyone to try to lose $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 to try to get a free room.
And one quick question is, when does it actually end the voting? When do we find out who's the winner?
The committee usually ends the voting 1 week after the last day of the Derby.
Okay, so that's when the viewers at home, you can find out who won the Louie Roberts Award. All right, thank you so much, Fred.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much. And once again, I'm Aaron Setley, along with Rachel Abink. That was our guest, Fred Agnir. And we will be back later tonight with the late edition of the Inside Pool Extreme Press Box.
Simona's cloth, authentic, accurate, always.